A Step into the Past Volume 17 Chapter 6. Book 17 Chapter 06 Creating Trouble at the Brothel. After the historical meeting, Lord Chongping forcefully dragged Xiang Xiaolong away from the reluctant Ji Yanran and Qin Qing. At the left premier residence of Lord Chongping, Lord Chen Guan is already waiting for them patiently. Once the doors have been secured, Lord Chen Guan slammed the table and cursed, "That Guanzongzi. His charm has caused our sister to be completely bewitched by him. The Crown Prince has informed us through official Li to take our sister in hand. What shall we do?" Lord Chongping rested his hand on Xiang Xiaolong's shoulder and laughed, "I can tell that even Grand Tutor Qin is interested in you. Wooing our sister should be an easy task for you. Xiaolong must help us win her back from Guanzongzi's influences." With Shan Rou's recent departure, Zhao Ye's death and the passing of Su Xian and Liu Gong, Xiang Xiaolong has been dealt with one heavy blow after another. Except for Qin Qing, he is no longer bothered with any other woman. Ying Ying is obnoxious and fickle-minded. If he had met her when he first came to this era, they will have a good time together. But after experiencing Lady Ni's suicide and Zhao Ye's betrayal, all he seeks is true love. Lord Chongping continued, "I heard rumors that Liu Niangrong is personally pushing for a rematch between you and Guanzongzi. She will only marry him if he defeats you." Lord Chen Guan pleaded, "No matter what, Xiaolong must help the two of us this time. If Guanzongzi rebels in the future, our sister will be implicated and the consequences are unbearable." Xiang Xiaolong bitterly smiled, "Love cannot be forced. What do you want me to do?" Lord Chongping suggested, "We are now openly opposing Liu Bui, so we might as well go all the way. You must fight and defeat Guanzongzi. Our sister will never hang around with a loser and this problem will be resolved automatically." Xiang Xiaolong plainly replied, "If I defeated Guanzongzi to marry Liu Niangrong, I'd rather concede the fight." Lord Chen Guan laughed, "Relax. Liu Bui will never marry his favorite daughter to you. You need not fight him openly but just prove yourself to be better than him in one way or another. This will increase your prestige and lower Guanzongzi's. Our sister will then recognize who is the real hero." In a begging tone, Lord Chongping implored, "The most arrogant people in Xianyang City now are the men from the premier mentor residence. Everyone hates them to the core. If Xiaolong can stand up to them, it will be helping the Crown Prince too. In fact, every one of us is waiting for you to come back and lead us against them." Xiang Xiaolong forced himself to brighten up and bitterly smiled after some thought, "All right. Reserve a table tonight at the Drunken Wind Brothel and insist on Dan Mimi and Guiyan to be our companions. We shall create a scene there tonight and demand my rightful flying dragon spear at the same time." Both men were delighted and hurriedly left to see to the arrangements. Xiang Xiaolong took this chance to slip back to the Wu residence. Whilst inquiring about Zhou Liang, he discovered that he has left to look for the King Eagle and has yet to return despite having left 6 months ago. Slightly worried, he looked for Zhou Wei instead. Probably due to the nourishment of Wu Guo's love, Zhou Wei is looking great and her beauty became even more outstanding. When she met Xiang Xiaolong, she retained some sense of awkwardness. After getting her seated, Xiang Xiaolong inquired, "Why is your brother away for so long?" Zhou Wei explained, "To find the best hunting eagles, elder brother needs to go far to the northern regions. The journey to and back requires at least 4 months and time is also needed to search for eaglets. Luck plays a part too." Xiang Xiaolong was perplexed, "I needed his help now, what should I do?" Zhou Wei brightened up, "I may lack his true expertise but my knowledge is not too shabby too. May I know what kind of assistance do you require?" Xiang Xiaolong suspiciously scanned her confident expression, "You know how to build ships too? It is more than just basic shipbuilding, it is actually—" "I don't know what to say." Zhou Wei gleefully assured, "Master can speak his mind. Shipbuilding is a strong tradition in our family and the skill is passed on to both males and females. My shipbuilding skills are not inferior compared to my brother. It is Xiang Xiaolong's turn to brighten up, and he revealed his plans about the Black Dragon. Zhou Wei frowned heavily upon hearing his plans. After some consideration, she pointed, "It is not difficult to build a submerged vessel, but it is hard to provide continuous air supply. If they surface to breathe, we will be exposed." Xiang Xiaolong suggested, "I thought about this too, but it is not something impossible. The human head can be concealed below the skin of the dragon, and some breathing holes can be made. Moreover, we will base the dragon far away from shore, so it is hard for anyone to expose us. However, this dragon needs to have good buoyancy and must be easy to fix and dismantle underwater. That should be all we need." Zhou Wei cheered, "Leave this to me." "Ah, this is wonderful, I can finally contribute something for master." Xiang Xiaolong was pleased. "Is Wu Guo treating you well?" Her cheeks glowing red, Zhou Wei kneeled down. "Master, please decide my future for me." Xiang Xiaolong laughed. "It is settled then. It is time for Wu Guo to settle down too." Returning back to the inner hall, he told Wu Tingfang about Wu Guo and Zhou Wei's marriage. Wu Tingfang is more than happy and took up the heavy responsibility of arranging their marriage. Xiang Xiaolong played with Xiang Bao'er for a while and heaped praises on Ji Yanran before taking a shower with the Tian sisters. He then head back to the cavalry command center. Regardless of rank and experience, every cavalry soldier is full of respect for Xiang Xiaolong for his heroics. Everyone greeted him most sincerely. Back at his office, Jing Jun was nowhere to be found. Teng Yi explained, "Little Jun has gone to look for Lu Danner. I nearly forgot. He wanted me to beg you to propose marriage on his behalf. I think he is taking this relationship very seriously." Xiang Xiaolong was elated. As long as Lu Danner does not object, it shouldn't be an issue. But Wang He should propose marriage instead of me, given the prestige of the Lu family is Xianyang City. Teng Yi agreed. Lu Danner is now madly in love with little Jun, so she will never object. It is best that you propose marriage with Wang He. This will prove our sincerity in uniting these two lovebirds. Sitting down, Xiang Xiaolong nodded in consent. Teng Yi updated, "I have assigned favorable positions to Zhao and his brothers, which Lord Chongping has gladly approved. We are fortunate to have him as our left premier, otherwise, it will be difficult for us to get anything done." Xiang Xiaolong twinkled, "We have a more powerful method to undermine Lu Bue's authority." He went on to detail his plan about the fake dragon. Teng Yi praised, "This method is better than beating him up. Since he hanged the gold reward upon the city gates, I have been taking precautions against a rebellion. This plan should be carried out as soon as possible. When do you plan to execute this?" Xiang Xiaolong replied, "Immediately after the dragon event, we can proceed to change the court administration. It is best to wait for the spring festival. So we have to produce our dragon within these 2 months." Teng Yi commented, "It is not advisable to let Guanzongzi be the imperial infantry commander. We should remove him from this post as soon as possible. Little Jun has told me that the people of the Premier Mentor residence are running amok and oppressing the common folks, all because of Guanzongzi shielding them. This is so infuriating." Xiang Xiaolong recalled the good old days in the 21st century when he was creating trouble and getting into fights too. He laughed, "They think they are tough? We'll show them who calls the shots. Is second brother free tonight to join me in creating a scene at the Drunken Wind brothel?" Teng Yi burst out laughing and happily nodded, "My hands are itching already and I have been training hard over the past 6 months. I would have challenged Guanzongzi to a duel myself if not for you." Checking the sky, Xiang Xiaolong decided, "We shall meet at the brothel 2 hours later. Now, I am going to speak to Meng Ao privately. If I can turn him against Lu Bue, it will be an additional bonus." After dismissing his attendants, Meng Ao stared at Xiang Xiaolong for a moment and sighed, "If official Xiang is here to say anything negative about Premier Mentor, you can save the trouble." Pausing for a while, his eyes shone with a tinge of apology before he plainly added, "I am a Qi native and am heavily discriminated in Qin. Wherever I go, I was ridiculed and suffered numerous humiliations. It is only when I work for Premier Mentor did I have the chance to hold my head up high again. My gratitude for him is tremendous. He may be unscrupulous, but given all that he has done for me, even if he wants me and my 2 sons to die for him, I will not have the slightest resistance. If not for Xiaolong doing your best to protect my 2 sons, I will not let you take a single step into my general residence. But this is the last time too. Xiang Xiaolong was stunned, so General knows about that incident. With pain shooting out of his eyes, Meng Ao slowly nodded. I did interrogate Meng Wu and Meng Tian about the ambush along the river. Naturally, I knew that something is amiss. It is a past event now and I do not wish to bring the past up. Grand Tutor Xiang, I won't see you out. Xiang Xiaolong did not expect him to be so fiercely loyal to Lu Bue. Angered, he stood up and simply warned, to each his own. I do not want to force you, but I should tell you that you need to draw a line between your loyalty to Qin and your loyalty to Lu Bue. Otherwise, all your descendants will not be spared. Goodbye. Finishing, he strode in large steps towards the main door. Meng Ao roared, hold it. Xiang Xiaolong held his step and coldly challenged, you want me to leave my head behind? Meng Ao stood up and remarked in a deep voice, I differentiate between gratitude and grudges, and I detest lowly behavior too. Premier Mentor may be greedy for power, but it is to safeguard his life too. According to history, every foreigner who becomes the Premier of Qin suffers a fate worse than death. Premier Mentor was forced to do what he had to do. If Xiaolong can let go of the past, I can persuade Premier Mentor to. Xiang Xiaolong shook his head and bitterly laughed, it is too late. Ever since he murdered Princess Qian and the rest, our debt can only be settled with blood. Moreover, he poisoned King Zhuangxiang, assassinated Su Xian and caused Lu Gong to die of anger. Now, he has incurred the wrath of the Crown Prince and the Qin military. General Meng better pray that he succeeds in his rebellion. Otherwise, your entire household will be executed. I have said my piece and any more words are unnecessary. Apparently, Meng Ao has no idea that Lu Bue is behind King Zhuangxiang and Su Xian's death. His face changing color, he stammered, what did you say? Xiang Xiaolong laughed out loudly and his laughter carried utmost grief. Ignoring Meng Ao, he stepped out of the house. Human silhouettes suddenly appeared. The 2 brothers Meng Wu and Meng Tian leapt out from his left and right respectively. Kneeling down in front of him, they cried out in unison, Grand Tutor. Xiang Xiaolong was taken aback, are you eavesdropping on us? Their eyes red, they nodded their heads furiously. Xiang Xiaolong went forward and helped them up, whispering, you must never let your father know about this. Come and look for me after a few days. He then left. Entering the drunken wind brothel, a middle-aged woman who still maintained her complexion fairly well came up to him. Accompanied by 4 maids, she joyfully welcomed, welcome official Xiang. I am Chunyua, Spring Flower. The 4 maids stepped forward and helped to take off his coat as part of their premium customer service. Xiang Xiaolong plainly questioned, has brothel owner Wu passed away due to sickness? Why didn't he welcome me personally? Chunyua replied awkwardly, he is indeed unwell and is resting at home. He should be fine after a couple of days of rest. Xiang Xiaolong secretly laughed to himself, knowing that Wu Fu has intentionally avoided him and went to beg Lu Bue to protect his life and business. Turning to the guardians, he bellowed, brothel owner Wu is treating today. Please go ahead and have as much fun as possible, but do remember not to consume any poisonous food or wine. Jing Shan and the rest understood his intentions and cheered loudly in unison, squeezing into the inner chambers of the brothel. Chunyua hurriedly ordered more staff to attend to them and at the same time protested in fear, official Xiang must be joking. How can there be any poison in our food and wine? Keeping his cool, Xiang Xiaolong shot back, you have to ask Miss Qian that question. Is she sick too? Chunyua lowered her head and softly answered, she has been reserved by official Guan and will only accompany him tonight. I have already told Lord Chongping. Xiang Xiaolong smiled, so Dan Mimi has been reserved by Premier Mentor. Chunyua panicked, she was reserved by official Lao. Xiang Xiaolong was surprised and coldly snorted, I will ask them about this personally. Meanwhile, you better tell brothel owner Wu that if I do not see him within 1 hour, I will close down this brothel and this day next year will be his death anniversary. HNG. Sniggering to himself, he strode forward in large steps. Her face totally devoid of color, a trembling Chunyua walked in front to guide him. The banquet destination today is on the second floor of the main brothel building, which is also the most luxurious area of the brothel. Unlike the isolated dining building, the second floor holds 20 over tables and is similar to the modern wedding ballroom except that it is much more spacious. By the time Xiang Xiaolong arrived, more than 10 tables are already occupied with numerous people in flamboyant clothes and it was a boisterous scene. There is a fireplace in every corner of the hall, making the place warm and cozy. Upon seeing Xiang Xiaolong, nearly half of those present rose and paid their respects. Xiang Xiaolong scanned the room quickly and discovered that Guan Zongzi and Lao Ai are also seated at the VIP area. It may be a simple coincidence or some pre-arrangement that their 2 tables are located on the left and right of Lord Changping's table. What really pi55ed him off is that Ying Ying is actually seated at Guan Zongzi's table. With Gian, she was seated right beside Guan Zongzi. Ying Ying apparently did not expect to see Xiang Xiaolong in such a place. Flustered, she lost her bearings and did not dare to face him. Xiang Xiaolong bore a new hatred, knowing that Guan Zongzi purposely brought her here to make the Chongping brothers and him look bad. He laughed loudly and waved his hand to show his appreciation at the show of respect. As he walked towards his own table, he noticed Jing Jun was present too and was busy winking at him. Leaving his companion Dan Mimi, Lao Ai welcomed Xiang Xiaolong with a smile, a rare visitor indeed. I never imagined that I will ever meet official Xiang in a place like this. Xiang Xiaolong intimately held his arm and pulled him to a nearby fireplace, smiling, let me make a wild guess first, official Lao must have suddenly received Dan Mimi's invitation so you made the trip here tonight. Am I right? Lao Ai was blown away, how in the world did you know that? Xiang Xiaolong casually replied, it's easy. I am here tonight to settle some scores with Wufu. Dan Mimi and Gian are implicated too, so they must quickly find someone else to accompany them. If I come into conflict with official Lao, then we will both fall into Dan Mimi and Lu Bue's trap. Official Lao should understand what I mean. Lao Ai was slightly dazed for a while before gritting his teeth, how dare that B1TCH make use of me. I will make her pay for this. Xiang Xiaolong patted his shoulder and comforted, do not get agitated. I just want you to understand. Tonight, based on our friendship, I will not make things difficult for Dan Mimi. Friend, just enjoy your wine. Passing by Lao Ai's table, Dan Mimi lowered her head and did not even dare to steal a peep at him. Seated at the same table are some men who appear to be newly recruited by Lao Ai. They are quite respectful of Xiang Xiaolong and their female companions are all eyeing him seductively. Xiang Xiaolong stopped at the table and greeted everyone. He held back his laughter, after being away for 6 months, it seems that Mimi has forgotten all about me. His expression turning ugly, Lao Ai sat down beside Dan Mimi again and hissed, this is her biggest flaw, which is bad memory. No matter what she does, she will forget about it in an instant. From his words, Xiang Xiaolong deduced that Lao Ai is unhappy with Dan Mimi mainly because Dan Mimi did not tell him that she is quite close to Lu Bue. Dan Mimi's tender frame shook slightly and she raised her delicate face, staring at Xiang Xiaolong in fear. She begged, official Xiang is a powerful figure. I am sure you will not begrudge a weak girl like me. I will be grateful for your kindness towards me. Xiang Xiaolong obviously knew that she is putting on an act but find it hard to bully her any further. Smirking, he left for his own table. Guan Zongzi stood up immediately and laughed, How can official Xiang practice favoritism and not come over to our table for an idle chat too? Xiang Xiaolong swept his gaze over his table. Except for Ying Ying, Gian, and the serving maids, there is Zhou Zian, Liu Chan, and 3 new swordsmen. They must be newly recruited by Liu Buwei. Judging by their strong concentration and muscular body, all 3 are top swordsmen. Ying Ying lowered her head even further. On the other hand, Gian smiled charmingly as if she had never poisoned him before. Xiang Xiaolong winked at Teng Yi and the rest before he went over to Guanzongzi's table. All the men stood up and greeted him. Guanzongzi smiled, "Let me introduce these 3 new top swordsmen to you. This is Su Shang from Shanghai and Chu. He is the number 1 swordsman there. Shanghai is a military stronghold northwest of Chu. To be the number 1 swordsman there is not easy." Xiang Xiaolong could not help but assess this 20-odd-year-old tall and handsome swordsman. Clasping his hands, Su Shang greeted, "I have long heard of Commander Xiang's famous name. In the future, I must seek your guidance." Besides him, a stout and beefy man filled with a strong killing aura greeted, "I am Lian Jiao from Wei." Xiang Xiaolong plainly state, "That makes you an official Guan fellow countryman." His eyes shining with cold killing energy, Lian Jiao icily revealed, "Lian Jin is my younger brother." Guanzongzi interrupted, "Official Xiang must not be mistaken. Lian Jiao may be Lian Jin's brother but he only has respect for you for defeating Lian Jin." Xiang Xiaolong's eyes flashed over Lian Jiao and he did not reply. The final man is tall and thin with a face like a monkey. Among the 3 men, he is the most collected. He coolly state, "I am Zhao Piyu, a Qi native. I was originally serving Prince Xinling in Wei but that was after official Xiang went to Daliang." Gian encouraged, "Why don't official Xiang sit down and join us? I can have the honor of toasting you again." Xiang Xiaolong laughed out loudly, "Miss Gian truly loves to joke. We all know that a wise man will not repeat his mistakes. How can I repeat my mistake then?" Turning to Guanzongzi, he commented, "Official Guan's timing is perfect. The minute you know that I am coming here tonight, you immediately reserved Miss Gian. I think you should bring her home and add her to your private collection. That way, there is no way I can win you." Based on Guanzongzi's intelligence and Gian's acting, they were still shocked by Xiang Xiaolong's threatening words and their faces lost color instantly. Ying Ying could sense the strong animosity between Xiang Xiaolong, Guanzongzi, and Gian. Shaking uncontrollably, she looked up at Xiang Xiaolong's face. Xiang Xiaolong laughed, "How are you, Miss Ying?" Ying Ying's eyes glowed with fear and her shoulder trembled slightly. She remained silent. Xiang Xiaolong is not interested in her answer at all. He smiled at Guanzongzi, "Why isn't Miss Niang wrong besides brother Guan as well? I have yet to visit her since my return. I have to bother brother Guan to send my regards to her." Bursting out in laughter, he ignored the hideous expressions of Ying Ying, Guanzongzi, and Gian and returned back to Lord Changping's table.